Happy Tuesday! Here we are live and for the love of dragons. Araya Anra coming to you here. Good news, guys. I have remembered the volume. I've remembered the microphone. And we should be good to go because we've got some fun and big stuff to discuss today. I don't know if you guys are already feeling it, but the lead up to this Lionsgate coming next Monday the 8th. Wow, we've got a lot of powerhouse stuff. I'm going through shifts in my own body. Just had an amazing session with some information and integration of energies that just really made me more aware of how big this Lionsgate is on both our macro individual scales and the micro of our individual scales and the macro of both galactic and multiverse scales of unification process happening. This is about our light body really coming in, merging to the greatest level that it can in our own bodies. And so it's super exciting right now. Just be paying attention. We're already in the energies. The portals are lined up. And I had all this really incredible information geometrically that was showing me the spin and the pieces unifying in our own bodies, but also how that is mirrored in the larger system, and the energies all lined up through all these galactic suns, the greater central sun, and through the Sirian system for this opening of portals is basically what the Lionsgate is. So I'm beyond excited, and hope you guys are feeling it. Hope you take the time out to just be present leading up to and especially on next Monday the 8th when it hits its pinnacle. So we've been in it since about the 25th, 26th of July. We're going to be in it until about 15th, 16th of August. But we're reaching the zenith. We're getting to that apex. So this is where it's pay attention time, because if you are in the process of merging parts of your light body in, this is all in play right now. And I wanted to share, it's funny because before really having the insight of like, wow, yes, we got to talk about Lionsgate, I had been feeling all week like I want to either do a post or talk about it on the live of how silly the dragons can be and the funny stories that we all have with the dragons. And I would love to encourage you guys. I'm going to share some funny stories with the dragons of how playful they are, how silly they can be. And it's all about getting us lighthearted, moving into laughter, giggle therapy. They showed me, I want to say about a year ago, is the key to getting your light body in. So if you're serious minded, if you are stuck in sternness or not letting yourself play and be joyful like a child, this is where you're going to really struggle with the integration of your light body in, because it's about play, it's about joy, and literally, quite literally, all that light cannot come down all the way into the physical cells of your body, which is the lowest, slowest, densest vibration that you hold, is in the physical level of the body. So all of that light can't penetrate it as easily if you are stern or even just like maintaining even keel. It needs giggle therapy. The dragons are showing me and took me into this place where I literally was in stitches for a while, belly roll laughing, and I could feel what they were trying to show me as I went into that. And you guys feel this when you go into lighthearted laughter or something that's contagious, when you watch a video and it gets shared and it goes viral, right? Start passing those really funny videos around. Try and share them with your friends, family, and loved ones, because it's that lightness of being that's actually helping bring that light and anchor it into the physical cells. They literally showed me this, how important the belly laugh, the literally like losing yourself into the moment in just being in laughter, is actually letting the light trickle all the way down to physical cells. So everybody, I encourage you, whether you post it separately into the group or post it as a comment here on this live stream, share your stories, because we all have silly, funny dragons in our life, and they might be your guides. I might be someone that popped in just on a random experience. But as you share those, it's going to bring that lightheartedness into the group sphere and bring other funny stories in. And so I want to share those. So one of them I'm going to start with, well, let's go way back. When I was first starting doing dragon readings, I was always interested in getting a mantra or a name, and I still do this, but it was really like something that was a big part for me in connecting with the dragons that were people's guides, that were there, they were presenting, and they were talking to us. And there would always be, well, how can we communicate with you? How can this person who I'm in session with reach out and call you forward? And when they give their name, quite often I can feel the sound string come through, which, on a soul level, we're known as this block of information, that your soul signature is made up of geometry, color, sound, that can be strings of sound, pulses. It's an amazing conglomeration of information. So in asking in the sound bites, they would often be trying to get this whole long string through, like sometimes 8 syllables or longer. And I'd be struggling with it. And then they would laugh and just go, just call me Joe. Or call me Larry. It's really much easier. Or, let's just stick with Belle. I'm beautiful and I'm good, so let's just stick with Belle. So the dragons started with that, showing me their sense of humor through the little things like that. Quite often in seeing guides, you might notice this too. They come in and are just very playful and silly, bouncing around like juveniles. Whether they're gigantic and you can tell how old and ancient they are, or they're actually young juvenile dragons, they get very bouncy and playful and excited. I remember working with a dragon who wanted to be called Charlie. He's an emerald dragon, and he would come in and just start getting silly and starting cracking jokes. And he would be with me. There we go. We got our signal back. So anybody that cut off, I apologize. The Wi-Fi signal here cut out inadvertently, and that's sort of a joke being played on us. Don't go into frustration. Go into laughter about it. So going back on this track of what I was talking about, the dragons that show up in our field, this one in particular, Charlie, was very bouncy, playful, like jumping at me and just trying to get me to realize, wow, I gotta lighten up. Like, he is definitely wanting to show me the lightheartedness of being that is our true nature. So in our true nature, we forgot we're in this density, right? Everything about this world is hard. It can be challenging. You feel like there's this constant go, go, go. We get sucked into this whole drama that is 3D, and we're waking up from it, right? We're pulling away from it and getting this perspective and going, whoa, how did I get so far off track? But are we letting ourselves be playful? When was the last time you went to a playground and swung on a swing? If you don't have kids, it's probably really not in your mindset. When was the last time you rode a bike and just got silly and like lifted your feet off or lifted your hands off or jumped off of a diving board into, or a pier into a lake or into a swimming pool and did the silliest dive you could? Some people are very great at that, but a lot of us struggle to have that lightheartedness, and the dragons will constantly be trying to remind you of that. So 2 of the funnier stories that I want to share are one called from a dragon who's this big, incredibly massive fire dragon. She's one of the largest dragons I know. She is a fire dragon, and her name is Abraxinius. And Abraxinius will often be very coy and witty in her humor. And it was right before Christmas, I think, could have been right after. And I was in session with this being that's connected with her. And she turned to me at one point in the session because it was getting really, like, not too dense, but there was so much information coming that the integration through the mental body was like, wow, this is a challenge, this is a struggle. And so she went and she put on a Santa hat. And she presented right in front of me with a Santa hat on. And she said, no, let's change the dynamic here. And it was so funny because I told the gal whose dragon this is. And she said, oh my goodness, that's unbelievable, because I have a statue that I consider to be Abraxinius here on the table. Over here, just like it's right out of sight, you can't see it. And I put a Santa hat on it this week. Like, it literally has a Santa hat on it. So she's playing games with that and giving us these little levels of confirmation back and forth of like, yes, like, all this is accurate. Here's my Santa hat. Are you seeing me? And she was just so cute with it. And what's funny about it is, of course, a Santa hat that she's trying to, put on this big dragon head. And so just imagine a big fire dragon with a Santa hat on. Quite fun to imagine. And the other one that literally was where the Giggle therapy came from, I want to share this. This is a even bigger dragon. Her name is Tiara, or Tiara. She is vivacious and bold and a powerhouse. She's actually Tiamat's twin sister. So she carries this immense amount of power and energy. And I was in session with her one day, and she decided to sort of show me something. She said, I'm going to show you something. So it was about what we put on. What kind of costumes do we put on? What kind of masks do we wear? What kind of things do we actually need to start shedding or changing into something that is more in alignment with us? And so she went like around the corner and popped back into my field of view. And she had gone and gotten this, you know, those construction vests, like when you see road workers on the highway and they've got those orange vests that are usually DOT, Department of Transportation or something, bright, vivid orange vest. And she had taken like a human-sized vest and squeezed herself into it. And it's just sort of turned in this coy, almost like fashion model statement of, don't I look fabulous? So if you can imagine a giant dragon, giant beyond words, like as big as the planet, as big as Tiamat. Tiamat wraps around the entire planet. So equal that in size. And she's diving into this little tiny orange jacket and saying, don't I look fabulous? Isn't this really suit me? And she was going off on the concept of, you know, what do we try to put on ourselves that really doesn't match us, that really isn't the best fit, whether it's the clothes we put on energetically, whether it's the masks that we put on to fit in at work or fit in with certain social situations, and really starting to own. She was like, this message is about owning who you are. And she brought through and she said, as you're owning who you are, if you want to actually integrate who you be, if you want to actually go through the ascension process and have that light body come in fully, you have to giggle, you have to laugh. And we were literally in a belly roll laugh at this point because of the antics that she kept going with. And she did this probably for close to 10 minutes, where she went off on the fashion show issue with the vest and was doing more stuff with it. And I don't need to go into all that story, but she literally had us in a belly laugh in the session and showed us literally by doing that how much more light could amplify in. And how much different we felt at the end of it. And you know how healing laughter is, but there's a purpose behind it at this point in our journey where we are literally moving more and more light in. And why this is perfect to talk about this week is because we're in a phase over this next week as we move into Lionsgate where there is so much amplification on offer, coming and available. It's about amplitude. It's about really magnifying up. It's going to be more intense. It's going to be more disorienting. But as it integrates, you're going to feel more and more of yourself than you ever have before. And if you're feeling like, whoa, I'm hitting a brick wall, I need to go sleep, I need to lay down, how do I integrate all this energy? Just go find something that makes you laugh and get going on some laughter, or go into your meditation space, call your dragon guides forward, and see what they present. Because I feel like they'll naturally come in and bring you something, whether they're, I don't know why I'm getting a visual right now of like 5 dragons, all of rainbow colors, like different colors of the rainbow, and they've got umbrellas, and they're creating this rain downpour that's actually coming from inside the umbrellas, and they're dancing in the rain, and they're singing and doing the whole dancing in the rain number, which I find quite funny and hard to be and to relate to as we're here. But it's what they're doing is, my field always transfers energy, and you can probably feel the transference of just this lightheartedness, big musical number by a rainbow of dragons with rain coming out from inside the umbrellas as they're dancing in the rain, creating their own rain from source. And that type of scenario, to just be playful, just be silly, let it remind you of your magical creative capacity. And wow, how do I be who I fully be? All of that is within us, and many of us have forgotten or are not allowed the playfulness to be there. And if you recall, you know, Christ was an amazing being on the planet who walked the walk, talked the talk, and literally lived what he spoke, and was trying to set an example and show us the path to light, the path to integrating your light body. And what were his words? He said, it will be as children that you enter the kingdom. the kingdoms of the heaven, the kingdoms of our heavenly birthright, of moving into that ascended place with our light body, into that infinite immortality. Yeah, wasn't that a great one, Robin? I love that visual too. Is as children. That doesn't mean like dropping down to like, I know nothing, I'm, a kindergartner and just starting in the world. It is that playfulness, that sense of awe and wonder and joy and silliness and imagination and creativity. Man, if we can get back to that state and realize that the more we open to that, the more we open to ourselves, the more we open to the universe, and the less heavy the journey gets, all that density can fall away, and we start spinning into life as magic and magic as life. And that's powerful. So that's where I'm going to leave it for this week. Dive into whatever silliness, playfulness, invite it from the dragons. And please, whatever stories come up from the dragons, whether it's this week or it happened 2 years ago, please share them, whether in the comments or a separate post in the group, because I would love to hear your funny stories from your dragons, because I know I'm not the only one with funny stories. All right, have a great week, an amazing Lionsgate. We'll see you on the other side of it. We'll still be in Powerhouse Energies next Tuesday. And I am actually going to be, I'm really excited that the Dragon Hearts have a core mission, so feel free. It's always connected in energetically. They don't have a specific in-person meeting. They align what they're going to do, and then they just go into the ethers to do it. So if you want to align on 8/8 and just support and hold what the Dragon Hearts are doing and align to that energetic dynamic to receive whatever is being amplified from that sphere, please do. And that's on the 8th. I am really excited that I'm going to be off grid. I've been called into nature this weekend in the incredible Yosemite National Park, backcountry, and being in spaces where literally I am so off grid. I will have no phone signal. I have nothing, and I can turn off and just really be present in the energies, and I'm really excited about that. So hopefully you can find something like that, but I will be back for Tuesday's live next week. Wishing you guys an incredible powerhouse week of amplification and magnitude, and wow, so much integration. I'm excited for you and for all of us, because this is a mark for all of us and Gaia, like what I was shown today in what's moving into this merge process. Why did I put the black and white dragons up here? This is that dance of union. The black and the white dragons are the merge point for us to move into crystalline. And I love that they represent that in that merge dance of union coming in. You can visualize that yin-yang spiral coming together. Whatever visualization you need for that state of union, where you're at is going to be appropriate, because this is what this energy is about. It's the merge into union, your full self, your light body with your physical body. And what stage of that are you ready for? You might not get to the full ascended process by next week, but you're going to move to your next plateau. This is quantum leap opportunity. And so just take advantage of, wow, I need to be really paying attention. I need to really be going inside and focused on the energy and connecting with Gaia and nature, because Gaia is going through hers as well. That's what I was shown. That the pieces of the puzzle that came in were like, oh, macro scale, here's Gaia's piece. This is what's facilitating it. And wow, huge, exciting news. So I'll see you on the other side. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you in a week. Bye for now.